just to start, thanks for being here. Appreciate y'all covering our pro day. Excited to watch our guys work. Really good group. Proud of what they did at Tulane and really proud of the product they put out there on the field today. I think fast times, and you can tell whether guys are prepared or not. Our guys look prepared today, which is cool to see that everybody showed up ready to go and put their best foot forward. And just excited to see what happens next for all of them. And really cool for our current team to be able to sit here and watch them go through this process, and hopefully we'll have some guys go through it, follow their footsteps. So with that, we'll open it up.
Coach, having most of the league represented here, I believe it's 31 if it's not 32 teams. What does that say about the brand?
Yeah, I think it doesn't hurt that you have a top-end guy like Caleb. You know, everybody, he ran the 40 at the Combine, and I think it was 4.32 or something. So that doesn't hurt when you know he's going to do drill work. It's nice to have a top-end of the draft marquee type guy that can maybe get other guys a look or attention. But then I think the depth of this team, you know, you look at both DBs today, Jonathan and Micah, both corners, ran really good times in the top end times. All the receivers represent themselves well. Pat Jenkins looked really good. I mean, I think there's a lot of interest in different guys maybe having a fit at the next level, and so that's a positive to have that many teams. Anytime you can get 31 or 32 at your pro, that's a positive.
What do you think Caleb will bring to the next level? You've seen him for years, even going back to Troy, and now, you know, obviously to see him get people to, you know, with that 40 time the sixth fastest in Indianapolis last month. What do you think he's going to bring to an NFL team, and what's it been like for you to see him grow like this?
It's been fun to see him grow. You know, he's from my hometown basically. I grew up in Huntsville. He grew up. He's from. I tell him all the time. He's from Harvest, not Huntsville, which is like out in the sticks a little bit more. I'm a city boy compared to him, but I remember watching Caleb in high school. What I think he's going to bring to an NFL team is he's got 5 position DB physical ability. And what I mean by that is he can go outside and run and play corner. He did that in 22 for us at Troy. In 23, he played in the slot. In 24 here, he played the slot. His best long-term position could be safety. That's what he played the Senior Bowl. And so he's got the physical ability to be a 5-position DB. More impressive, he's got the mental makeup. Like, he is a football junkie. You know, he had an illness about a year ago, and I went to go visit him when he was having to get something handled at the hospital. And he's in a hospital bed watching PFF and watching other draftable DBs in this year's class that he thought he could compare to. And so he's just ate up with the game. He loves it. He's a football junkie. And so high character kid, competitive kid, really a good representation of what all our guys I think that are here today are. But I think he's got a really bright future, and as he's gone through the draft process, I think he's elevated. I think he's helped himself out at every step of the process so far.
What about a guy like, you know, Jonathan? Obviously, you know, no combine invite. He does well at the Senior Bowl. Now, you know, working his way up stock-wise too. What do you think he'll bring? Yeah,
Jonathan's a cool story. You know, he came to us from Indiana State, got here in June last year. So a late addition to the team. Big and fast. Like, you can't teach his size and his speed. Either have that or you don't. And when we got him, it was like getting a ball of clay. Like, we were a guy that we were able to teach a lot and him learn a lot. He's a sponge. He's a great kid. You know, he got the late call up to the Senior Bowl game. I remember when Jim Nagy called me to ask if I could get Jonathan on the phone to get him up there. Jonathan's response was like, "Hey, is that a good thing to get invited to that game?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a pretty good thing. You need to get up there." He's like, "Well, what if I don't have a ride?" I'm like, "I'll drive you." Mm-hmm. And so I think his ceiling is really, really high. You know, has a lot of development left. I think his best football is not just a year out in front of him. I think it could be 4, 5, 6 years out in front of him, potentially, because of the type of athlete he is. I still think he's got a lot of left of development for sure.
He's got 2 plays on tape from last year.
Yeah.
Where he ran down guys, and so it's not just speed out here. He showed it on a football field. How much can that help him?
Yeah, the Louisiana Lafayette one where he ran the running back down. That was the first glimpse where we were all like, whoa. Like, we knew in summer workouts he could run good, but that's the first time you really saw it translate on the football field. And then I think he made another one at UAB maybe, as the other one you're speaking on. You know, he's got such great speed. He can recover from a bad movement, if that makes sense. So, like, at the Senior Bowl, he was in a one-on-one period, and I saw a rep that maybe he wasn't really clean at the line of scrimmage on, but he was able to recover because he's got such great athleticism and speed. And so he's got makeup speed, and he's got length that helps with that too. And so just a gifted kid that I think's got a bright future, and I look forward to seeing where he lands because I think he's got a lot of development.
You sort of touched on it already, but a lot of star power at receiver
Yeah.
showing out today. Can you just kind of talk about your thoughts there, what you're seeing?
Well, I wish all of them had another year of eligibility because right now we're going through spring ball. I'm not saying I'm mad with what I've seen, but I would take any of them back for one more year. It's such a rewarding deal. All three of those guys were transfers on different timelines. Mario, for me, is special because he bought into what we were trying to do as a staff when we got here. And he had a really big 2022 at USC, not as big of a 23. And then to buy into what the vision was for him here and to go for 1,000 yards last year was such a special year for him. And what he added to our team last year, I've told all the scouts, Mario's best trait is not speed, it's not ball skills, it's competitive nature. Like, we would do our winter workouts last January and February, and he had no problem with whoever he was matched up with that morning at the workout because we pair guys up one-on-one all day, walking into the workout and, like, letting the guy know, like, hey, you're going to lose today because you're matched up with me. Like, I'm going to win. Like, that's what I do is I'll win. I'm like, I like this guy. And a lot of the marquee guys you get, they shy away from some of those off-season kind of nitty-gritty opportunities to get better. He embraced every part of that, which set the tone for our team last year. Dante is a cool story. A local guy, went to Louisiana Lafayette, transferred here, really didn't have a great 2023 statistically, and really stepped up and was a productive player for last year's team. He's got a different position versatility and flexibility because of his length. Was our punt returner, and just proud of how far he's come. Really, when I got hired in December to now, his growth has probably been as significant as anybody on the team that we had last year. And then Yul Keith was sort of an unsung hero as we went through the year last year. I run a team meeting every other practice day where I show the good and the bad from the previous day. And I shared this with the media when I did it back in training camp last year. I called him out in front of the whole team for being soft and not blocking a rep. It was actually here in the Saints indoor. I'll never forget it. It was on the edge of duo and a duo run play. And I called him out for not blocking. That's the last time I remember him not blocking. Like, he's been really accountable and really embraced things. And so all three guys, they really made a difference to our program. I think they all can play past college. Where's the right fit for them? It'll be interesting to see where they fit. But all three guys have made huge contributions to Tulane, and I think they all can play past college.
Are there any guys that maybe aren't getting quite the pre-draft buzz, if you will, that maybe could find some spots?
Yeah, I think Micah Robinson helped himself today. He ran, I think, 4.39 was the time I heard from one scout on his second 40. That's rolling. That was the fastest time I heard of the day. Think he did well. I thought Pat Jenkins really, Pat's a great story. A guy that could have left a year ago, decided to stay, had some adversity, obviously losing his mom during the middle of last season. Is a local guy that went to John Eric, grew up in West Wego. Just a consummate teammate. Just really, really proud of what he did today. I think he was in the 4.8s on his second 40 is what I got, 4.88 maybe or 4.84. But I think, he's just such a steady, consistent. Tanzel Smart was here today. He sort of reminds me of, I coached Tanzel. He reminds me a little bit of Tanzel in regards to, you never had to wonder, was that guy going to show up the right mindset every day? And so that's Pat Jenkins. So those two guys, I don't know, maybe had as much buzz coming into today that just talking to some of the scouts, I think they sort of maybe raised an eye.
Okay.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all.